January 29, 1945, 2:47 p.m. Holtzheim, Belgium. First Sergeant Leonard Funk walks around the corner of a farmhouse and stops dead. 90 German soldiers are staring at him. Half of them are holding weapons. The other half are picking up rifles from a pile on the ground. 4 American GIs kneel in the snow with their hands behind their heads. These Germans were prisoners 20 minutes ago. 80 of them captured by Funk's company during the assault on this village. Guarded by 4 men, all that could be spared. Now they're free, armed and organizing. Now they're organizing to attack Company C from the rear. A German officer steps forward, shoves an MP-40 submachine gun into Funk's stomach, screams something in German. Funk doesn't speak German, neither do any of the Americans. The officer screams again, louder, face turning red. Funk looks at the 90 Germans, looks at his 4 disarmed soldiers, looks at the MP-40 pressed against his gut, and starts laughing. The German officer's face twists with confusion, then rage. He screams louder, Funk laughs harder. What happens next takes less than 60 seconds. Germans will die. The rest will throw down their weapons and surrender. And Leonard Funk will earn the Medal of Honor for one of the most insane acts of combat in World War II, all because he couldn't stop laughing. Leonard Alfred Funk Jr. was born August 27, 1916, in Braddock Township. In Braddock Township, Pennsylvania, a steel town, smokestacks and foundries lining the Monongahela River, 8 miles east of Pittsburgh. Funk grew up fast, learned responsibility early. By the time he graduated high school in 1934, he'd already been taking care of his younger brother for years. The Great Depression was grinding through its 5th year. Jobs were scarce. College was a fantasy. June 1941, with war raging across Europe and Asia, Congress extends the draft. Funk's number comes up. He reports to the induction center at Willingsburg, Pennsylvania. He's 24 years old. 5'5" in tall, 140 lb. The Army physical examiner looks at him and probably thinks clerk duty. They're wrong. Funk volunteers for the paratroopers. In 1941, American airborne forces barely exist. The concept is new, jumping out of perfectly good aircraft to land behind enemy lines and fight surrounded. It sounds like suicide to most soldiers. The volunteers are a different breed. They have to be. Airborne training is designed to break you. 5 weeks of running, jumping, climbing, falling, brutal physical conditioning that washes out half the candidates. Then the jump towers, then the aircraft. The first time you step out of a C-47 at 1200 FT, everything in your body screams to grab the doorframe and hold on. The ground is a long way down. The wind tears at your face. Your parachute is just fabric and cord and faith. Funk earns his jump wings, gets assigned to Company C, 1st Battalion, 508th Parachute Infantry Regiment, Camp Blanding, Florida. The 58th ships to England in late 1943. They join the 82nd Airborne Division, the All-Americans, veterans of Sicily and Italy. These men have already jumped into combat. They've already killed and watched friends die. Funk is the new guy, 27 years old, ancient by paratrooper standards. Most of his squad mates are barely 20, but Funk has something they don't. Maturity, steadiness, the kind of quiet competence that makes men follow you into hell. By D-Day, he's a squad leader. By whole time, he'll be acting company executive officer. First, though, he has to survive Normandy. June 6, 1944, 1:30 a.m. The C-47 Skytrain shutters as flak explodes around it. Funk is standing in the stick, the line of paratroopers waiting to jump. 60 lbs of equipment strapped to his body. M1A1 Thompson submachine gun, ammunition, grenades, rations, medical kit. The aircraft is at 400 FT, too low for a safe jump. But the pilots can't climb. German anti-aircraft fire is everywhere. Tracers arc through the darkness like angry fireflies. The men can hear fragments pinging off the fuselage. The Normandy invasion involves 13,000 paratroopers from the 82nd and 101st Airborne Divisions. They're supposed to land behind the beaches, secure bridges and crossroads, prevent German reinforcements from reaching the coast. Nothing goes according to plan. The green light comes on, Funk jumps. The prop blast hits him like a truck. Then the chute deploys and the world goes quiet. Below him, France occupied France. Enemy territory in every direction. The D-Day airborne operation is chaos from the first minute. German anti-aircraft fire has scattered the formations across 50 miles of French countryside. Paratroopers are landing in flooded fields and drowning under the weight of their equipment. Others come down in the middle of German camps and die before they can cut free of their harnesses. Funk lands hard. His ankle twists on impact, badly sprained, maybe fractured. The pain is immediate and intense. Every step will be agony for the next 2 weeks. But he can walk, he can fight, and that's all that matters. He gathers his chute, buries it, and starts moving. He's 40 miles from his drop zone, 40 mi of German-held territory in the dark alone. Within hours he's collected a group of lost paratroopers. Men from different units, different companies, different regiments. 18 of them eventually, all of them looking for leadership. Funk gives it to them. For 10 days, Funk leads this group through German-held territory. Traveling at night, hiding by day, fighting when they have to. He insists on serving as lead scout despite his injured ankle, putting himself in the most dangerous position to protect his men. They link up with Allied forces. They link up on June 17th. Every single man survives. Not one casualty. 10 days behind enemy lines. 40 mi of German-occupied France. And Leonard Funk brings them all home. The Silver Star, third highest combat decoration, plus a Bronze Star for meritorious service, plus his first Purple Heart. Funk is just getting started. September 17th, 1944. Holland. Operation Market Garden, the largest airborne assault in history. 35,000 paratroopers dropping into the Netherlands to capture a series of bridges across the Rhine. British, American, Polish forces all jumping together. If it works, the Allies will be in Germany by Christmas. Field Marshal Montgomery's plan is ambitious, maybe too ambitious. The paratroopers have to capture and hold 7 bridges across 64 mi of Dutch territory. Ground forces will race up a single highway to link up with them. Everything depends on speed, on surprise, on nothing going wrong. Everything goes wrong. The British 1st Airborne Division lands at Arnhem, the furthest bridge. They're surrounded by SS Panzer divisions that weren't supposed to be there. For 9 days they fight and die in the streets. Only 2,000 of 10,000 men make it out. The bridge too far enters military history as a cautionary tale. But Leonard Funk doesn't know about the big picture. He only knows his mission: support the landings, secure the drop zones, kill Germans. After touching down, his company secures their objective. Standard stuff. The 5008th is operating near Nice-Megen, helping to capture bridges that will allow ground forces to advance. Then Funk notices something that isn't part of the plan. 3 German 20 mm flak-Veling anti-aircraft guns are firing at the incoming Allied gliders. The gliders carry reinforcements, jeeps, artillery pieces, ammunition, medical supplies. If those guns keep firing, hundreds of men will die before they even hit the ground. The gun position is dug in on high ground near Vauxhall. Approximately 20 German soldiers manning the weapons, providing security, sandbags, camouflage, interlocking fields of fire. Funk has 3 men. Standard military doctrine says you need a 3.1 advantage to assault a prepared position. Funk has the opposite. He's outnumbered 7-1. He attacks anyway. Leading from the front, Funk and his 3-man patrol. Funk and his 3-man patrol assault the German position. They kill the security detachment, storm the gun emplacements, neutralize all 3 weapons in their crews. 20 Germans, 3 Americans. The guns go silent. The gliders land safely. The Distinguished Service Cross, 2nd highest decoration. 2nd highest decoration for valor, 1 step below the Medal of Honor. Funk now has a Silver Star and a DSC, 2 of the rarest combat decorations in the American military. Most soldiers who earn even 1 are considered heroes for life. Funk still isn't done. December 16th, 1944. The Germans launch their last desperate offensive. 3 armies, 400,000 men, 400 tanks, 900 artillery pieces. They crash through the American lines in the Ardennes forest, aiming for the port of Antwerp. Hitler's plan is insane, but almost works. He's gambling everything on one massive attack. Split the Allied armies, capture Antwerp, force a negotiated peace in the west so Germany can focus on the Soviets in the east. For the Americans, it's a nightmare. The offensive hits thinly held sectors manned by green troops and exhausted veterans pulled off the line to rest. Entire divisions crumble, thousands of soldiers surrender. The German advance creates a bulge 50 mi deep in the Allied lines. The Battle of the Bulge. The largest battle the American army will fight in World War II. 89,000 American casualties before it's over. The weather is brutal. Snow, ice, temperatures dropping to 5 degrees below zero. Men freeze to death in their foxholes. Weapons jam. Vehicles won't start. The cold is as deadly as the Germans. Then comes Malmedy, December 17, 1944. One day into the offensive, a convoy from the 285th Field Artillery Observation Battalion. A convoy is moving near the Bognes crossroads when they run into the spearhead of Camp Gruppe Piper, an SS armored battle group. The Americans are rear echelon troops, artillery observers, radio operators. They're not equipped for a fight with tanks and armored infantry. After a brief engagement, 113 Americans surrender. They're herded into a farmer's field near the crossroads. Hands up, disarmed, prisoners of war. Then the SS opens fire. Machine guns, pistols, rifles. The Germans shoot them down like cattle. Men who try to run are cut down. Men who fall wounded are finished off with shots to the head. 84 Americans die in that field. Some survive by playing dead. They lie in the snow for hours. German boots walking past them. German voices laughing. When darkness comes, 43 survivors crawl away and make it back to American lines. The news spreads through the American army. Within hours, the Germans are executing prisoners. Malmedy changes everything. Before the war in Europe had rules, unofficial, unspoken, but real. Soldiers surrendered when the situation was hopeless. Prisoners were treated according to the Geneva Convention. There was a kind of grim professionalism between enemies. After Malmedy, the rules are gone. American soldiers swear they'll never surrender to the SS. Some units pass down orders, no SS prisoners. When Funk hears about the massacre, something hardens inside him. He's already seen too much. Normandy, Holland, friends dying in fields and forests across Europe. But this is different. This is murder. Cold-blooded execution of men who had surrendered in good faith. Leonard Funk decides he will never surrender to the Germans. No matter what, that decision will matter very soon. January 29, 1945, the Ardennes. The German offensive has been broken. Now the Allies are pushing back. Company C, 58th Parachute Infantry, gets orders to capture the Belgian village of Holtzheim. There's a problem. Company C is under strength. The executive officer second in command, has been killed. They don't have enough men for the assault. Funk is now acting executive officer. He looks at his depleted roster and makes a decision. He walks to the company headquarters tent. Inside are clerks, supply personnel, cooks, men who normally never see combat. You're all infantry now, Funk tells them. Grab your weapons. We're taking that village. He forms a makeshift platoon. 30 men who've spent most of the war behind desks. They've had basic training, sure, but real combat, most of them have never fired a shot at another human being. Funk doesn't care, he needs bodies. He'll turn them into soldiers. The march to Holtzheim is 15 miles through waist-deep snow in a driving blizzard. Temperatures well below freezing. German artillery shells explode around them, harassing fire from the flanks. Funk leads from the front. They reach Holtzheim. Funk organizes the assault. His clerks, his makeshift warriors, follow him into the village. 15 houses, Germans in everyone. Machine guns, rifles, grenades. Funk and his men clear them all. 30 prisoners captured, not one American casualty. Another unit captures 50 more Germans. On the other side of town, 2 prisoners total. They're corralled in the yard of a farmhouse. Funk looks at his exhausted men. They've been marching and fighting for hours. There's still resistance in other parts of the village. Scattered German soldiers who haven't surrendered yet. He can only spare 4. He can only spare 4 men to guard the prisoners. Keep them here, he tells the guards. We'll send reinforcements when we can. Funk heads back into the fight. He has no idea what's about to happen behind him. While Funk is clearing the rest of Holtzheim, a German patrol approaches the farmhouse. 10 men, maybe 20, wearing white camouflage capes over their uniforms. In the snow and confusion, they look almost identical to American troops in winter gear. The 4 guards don't realize the danger until it's too late. The Germans overwhelm them, disarm them, force them to their knees. Then they free the prisoners. 80 German soldiers plus the patrol that freed them. 90 men total. They grab weapons from the pile. They organize quickly. They know exactly what they're going to do. Attack Company C from the rear. Funk's company is scattered across the village, mopping up resistance. They're not expecting an attack from behind. If 90 Germans hit them while they're spread out, it'll be a massacre. The German officer in charge, probably a lieutenant or captain, begins giving orders. Position the machine guns here. Set up the ambush there. Wait for my signal.